Okay, whoever prepared the adjourning motion slip for Diane to write on?
Yes, lady.
The preceding has been a presentation of the Los Angeles Police Department.
You are watching LA City View, Channel 35.
It's 10 o'clock. It's time for the council to be in session. There's only one member present. We have Mr. Alarcon, Mr. Alatorre, Mrs. Chick, Mr. Fuhr, Mr. Burnson, Mr. Hernandez. We have 7 members present. We need 3 more for a quorum. Ms. Misakowski, that makes 8 members. Mrs. Walters, we have 9 members. We need 1 more per quorum. Okay, I think we have a quorum. Call the roll.
Alarcon, Alatorre, Burnson, Chick, Fuhr, Gallanter, Gober, Hernandez, Holden, Miskowski, Ridley, Thomas, Zaborni, Wax, Walters, Ferraro. 10 council members present, a quorum, Mr. President.
Ms. Goldberg's here too. Okay.
11 members
The
present.
council will come in order. This is a meeting of the City Council for the City of Los Angeles on the 26th day of May, 1998. There are 15 council districts in the city. The regular meeting days are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We are currently being viewed by cable subscribers throughout the Los Angeles area on Channel 35, and we're also being monitored by council phone. The first order of business.
Approval of the minutes.
All right, Mr. Wax moves, Ms. Sakowski second. If there's no objection, unanimous vote. Next item.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
If there's no objection, unanimous vote. Let's those are items to be continued, or item number 1. Is there any objections to continuing item number 1?
To September the 8th.
Seeing none, that'll be the order. Item number 11, is there any objection to continuing item 11 to July 14th? No objection? That will be the order. Is those the only ones? Okay, then let's go,
Items for which today is a public hearing. First is item 2. This is a Commerce, Energy, and Natural Resources Report and Ordinance.
well, we are expecting 12, we'll hold, or we do have 12, don't we? Item number 2, is there any discussion on item number 2?
Is this the one that was supposed to go to the Board of Referred Powers?
It came from Energy and Natural Resources Committee.
Commerce, Energy, and Natural Resources.
This is not the one on the leases at the marina, right?
No.
Okay.
No, no,
Okay, no objection.
Okay, all right. Any discussion on this?
no.
If not, prepare the roll on item number 2, committee report and ordinance. Tabulate the vote.
12 eyes.
That is approved. Item number 3, we have a card. We'll call that special. Next items,
Next items, Mr. President, are 4 through 13, for which public hearings have been held, except for 11 that you've continued to July 14th.
5 is called special.
4 is a confirmation of city official, if
Yeah,
you'd like to do it now.
We'll do that now. Is there any other specials? 4 through 13.
On item number 3, what I wanted to do was to,
We call that special.
all I'm going to do is, it's in my district, all I want to do is put it over.
Put it over for when?
Put it over for about, probably Friday.
Friday, this Friday? Is there any objection to continuing item number 3 until Friday?
The Prop 5 item?
Yes.
Continue to Friday, all right.
There's no objection, that will be the order. Okay, we have 4 through 13 with the exception of 12 is called special. And 5 is special.
Right.
And 4 will,
was already a hearing held if you don't want to have one.
Someone called it special. Who called for special?
no. We do have some people wanting to be heard on item 3. That's going to be continued until Friday. Okay.
On the item, I would just want to continue for one day, because I can deal with it tomorrow. That's okay.
Okay, item 3, continue one day. All right, correct that, Diane. Yes. We haven't gotten to 17 yet. Okay. Mr. Shapiro wants to be be heard on 4, and that already had a public hearing. So unless I hear a motion to continue for a public hearing, we'll prepare the roll on items 4 through 13 with the exception of 5.
Is the commissioner here?
Yeah. Yeah. Huh? We're not going to 30 yet. Huh? I didn't say 30.
This is,
Okay.
on item number 4, Mr. President, members of council, it's the unanimous recommendation of the Governmental Efficiency Committee that we confirm the appointment of Mr. Howard Eckerling.
Yeah, well, we'll have Mr. Eckerman's here, so let's leave 4 off for the time being. So let's prepare the roll on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Special?
and 13. On 13. Prepare the roll on those. Tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
That is approved. Now we have item
Actually,
number
12
4. Mr. Wax?
Yes, Mr. President, Mr. Eckerling is someone I have known for a long time, someone who has roots back into City Hall, and I think would make an excellent member of the commission, and I was pleased to make the appointment in my capacity as chair of the Governmental Efficiency Committee. We had a hearing before the committee, and it's the unanimous vote of the committee to approve Mr. Eckerling, and I would move approval.
He was
Okay, is there any questions? If not, prepare the roll on item number 4, the appointment, Mr. Eckerling. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
You've been confirmed, and we will send that forthwith. Okay, the next items,
The next items for which public hearings have not been held are 14 through 28 and 30 and 31 on your continuation page.
okay, we have a card on 14 and 18, we'll call those special.
15,
Anybody want to be heard on any of the other items?
item 15.
Wait a minute, let me get the public hearing out of the way first. The public hearing's closed on all those except 14 and 18. Now, any specials by council members? 15, did I hear?
Yeah, 15.
15 and 17. Who called 15 special? Any other specials? If not, prepare the roll on 14 through 28, with the exception of 14, 15, 16, and 17, and 18, and 30 and 31. 29 is a closed session. Prepare the roll on those items.
12 ayes.
Those are approved. Next item.
You're going to have to call 30 on special, so Walters can go out.
We don't have a 32 today.
wants to be excused on 31, so could you call that
Okay. 31 is called special. All right. The next, all right. Mrs. Raoul Walters out. Prepare the roll on 31. Tabulate the vote. That is approved. Okay, we want to send 19 forthwith, 20 forthwith, 27 forthwith,
Mr.
and
President,
30 forthwith.
on item 31, there had been a motion to amend and submit
Yes,
it.
I had the motion.
So
It was
that
as
passed with
amended,
motion?
yes.
Okay. Mhm.
It's instructions to the departments, police and general services.
Okay, now let's go back, yeah.
5 special.
I just wanted to vote no, and I think Mr. Burnson did.
Okay, prepare the roll on 5. Tabulate the vote. 10 ayes, 2 noes. Forthwith on that. Next item.
12 special.
Ms. Goldberg, you call 12 special?
Yes, this has gone to committee, has it?
Intergovernmental Relations Committee.
It did go to committee, okay. And the recommendation is to support the, or to oppose?
To oppose.
To oppose. I actually have heard really interesting arguments on both sides, and so I'm just going to request that I be counted as a non-vote, and I'm going to leave the room.
Okay, item number 12 is before us. Prepare the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 eyes.
That is approved. Next item.
Item 14 special, the budget resolution.
Mr. Shapiro said he wants to be heard on 14 when he has marked 4, and we're not mind readers, Mr. Shapiro.
Can you imagine that? I appreciate
You made a mistake. Can you believe that?
It's possible.
Yeah.
Not many, but I make a few.
Every Tuesday you make mistakes.
You weren't here last week, so you don't know. My name is Leonard Shapiro. I'm a community watchdog, and I'm here to speak on this item, annual budget resolution for the fiscal year 98-99. And what bothers me is that you all read the LA Times, and you see the LA Times is calling this a $2.7 billion budget. When here, I take a look on page 3 here, and it says 4.069 billion. And then if you go to the back of the book, it says 9.4 billion. Well, the point is, what do people agree? That the spending plan alone, the cash spending plan of 2.7 billion, is the budget that you're voting on? You're not voting on all these extra expenses, which are bonded, and it's debt that you incurred, and the different funds that you get money from, which is cash money all along the lines. And do you want to completely disavow responsibility for the organizations and separate departments that have control of their own funding, like the Department of Water and Power and the Harbor Department and the CRA? I would like to forget about them too if I were a member of the City Council, because they are inefficient, ineffective, and you give them a minimal time of oversight. I think these departments deserve a maximum amount of oversight. We know you've been giving the Department of Water and Power a lot of extra time lately because they're running into deregulation and they're running into the big $8 billion debt approximately that they have incurred. And they say they're going to, some of your people have also recommended that you reduce the amount of funding they give you from $105 million a year down each year to 95, 85, 75, and eventually stop it all together. I think that's a good idea. I think if they're in trouble, the City Council should cooperate, but that's not the point. The point is, why isn't it put in here? Why don't we hear about something from the LA Times or from people saying, we don't have just a $2.7 billion budget, we have a $9.4 billion budget, and we're not ashamed of it, we're proud of it, and we're going to handle it correctly. I don't see why you should adopt this head-in-the-stands attitude of $2.7 billion budget just because the mayor tells you that's his idea, Mr. President.
Okay, the public hearing is closed. Mr. Alatorre?
Mr. President and members, this is just a budget resolution of the budget that we passed. I think what Mr. Shapiro talks about is there are general fund dollars and there are non-general fund dollars, and I think that speaks to the reason for the difference between 2 versus 4. I don't know what he's talking about half the time, but I mean, I think that, this is a prudent budget. We have a reserve, I think, that is over and above even what the mayor had called for. I think that we looked at and listened and took into consideration the concerns that were raised by some of the people about debt. And I think that when you look at the budget, all in all, I think it speaks to the needs that we have here in the city of Los Angeles. I wish we would do more, but we are doing the best that we can under the economic circumstances. Hopefully by next year we're going to be able to collect more money as a result of some of the issues and some of the areas that we appropriated money for, so that agencies can be a little bit better in the way that they collect their money. But all in all, I think that it's a good budget. I would respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Okay, anyone else want to be heard? If not, prepare the roll on item 14. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That is approved. We'll send that forthwith. Next item,
15 special, Councilmember Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez.
Mr. President, I'm not sure, is staff ready to answer some questions in regards to this MOU? Members of council, the reason I call this item special, my understanding is that, one, we didn't have a fiscal impact report prepared, and I just thought it was something we should be aware of. We did approve the potential MOU, but I'm disturbed right now by something going on with the department, and I'm trying to find out if our contract agreement requires this, or is there a reason why they can't. But what I have is a situation that I think Ms. Chick faced before in terms of trying to get the department to cooperate with law enforcement. And the department wants to cooperate. The department, through its director, department head, has said that they're inclined to work with a clear task force in Lincoln Heights and allowing them to basically be at the facility that they currently use as a power training facility. The reason it has not happened is they claim that Local 18, the union, is saying they can't be there. Now, what that is telling me as a council member, that the union is dictating what can be at a facility and what cannot be at a facility. And before I cast my vote on this, I wanted to know if our agreement allows the union that discretion.
My name is Roger Brennan from the Department of Water and Power. There isn't any specific language in the MOU that would address that, but our employees have always been very much concerned about any activity that would cause them to be seen as in any way acting as or assisting in any kind of actions that may be considered anti-gang.
Any kind of action that might be considered what?
That might be considered...
members of council, I think you should hear this. It's kind of a citywide issue.
The department employees have always been very concerned if their activities are deemed to be supportive of actions that may cause gangs to take any kind of retaliatory action against our employees. The union has a very strong sense that they would like to be neutral as far as that's concerned.
So when you say neutral, what you're saying is the union does not want the city to take any position against gangs?
No, I'm saying that the union has had some experiences in the past where their employees have been put at risk, and they've had some incidents that have been very dangerous, and they're very concerned about the safety of employees that go into areas that have large...
So has our MOU given them the authority to... See, basically, members, what we have here is we have a clear task force, an information gathering task force that is looking for space to operate out of. We identified the space at a Department of Water and Power facility. They would be going there to operate, not the police functioning, just the task force that gathers information and talks to each other between the probation department, LAPD, the district attorney, the city attorney, in essence, and the people who prosecute. So they, right now, are currently not being able to operate out of the space because Local 18 says we don't want our members jeopardized. And the reason I'm bringing it out is I want to make sure this agreement doesn't give them that authority. And I need a yes or no answer.
This agreement does not contain any specific language that would cover this issue. This is basically, before you today, our cost of living adjustments that have been previously...
And if your knowledge, and Mr. Comrie, maybe you can answer, is there any language that gives the union the authority to control that kind of space, or the city's ability to use space for alternate purposes?
This would be an inappropriate place to put that type of language, so I know of no language like that that would be put in here. This is merely a pay increase for the employees. The issues you're talking about should be worked through the departmental management.
Can you tell me what that price
Okay,
is now?
thank you very much. I just want to make sure before we cast this vote, we weren't giving that authority.
All right, Ms. Goldberg?
Yes, I just wanted to say that Personnel Committee waived 15 and 16 because these were agreed to and I believe voted on here at Council already. This is just the implementation. We've already agreed to these items after collective bargaining, so there was a vote taken in closed session, I believe, and so I just wanted to point out that this is not new. This is implementation language for the agreement that we voted on some time ago.
Wax?
Before I speak, can Mr. Comrie explain exactly what's here? This looks like it's an amendment to what we agreed to. What is this exactly?
This is the amendment or the MOU where we agreed, they originally agreed to a CPI adjustment with a floor and a ceiling. This would allow the floor to be 4% instead of 1.9% where the CPI actually came in. So it gives them the same 4% salary
Are we unilaterally agreeing to this? Or?
No, it was jointly agreed with the union. It was all part of the...
No, but did we get anything in return for this? Or is this just an addition that we're adding to what we had previously agreed to with the unions?
I believe that'd be the best description of it when it
Okay,
came
and
to
what
the
is it going to
department.
cost? I notice you don't have a financial analysis. Why is that?
I don't know why there's not a financial analysis on this, and I don't have a cost with me. Mr. Brennan may have.
We are reducing our workforce substantially, so
What is this increase going to cost?
I would estimate that we'll have a payroll of under $300 million as of September 98, which means a 4% is what we're looking at, probably somewhere between $11 and $12 million.
You know, whether you're for this or not is one thing, but staff, we have a policy here, and this comes up every single time, that we're supposed to have analyses by our legislative analysts and our CAO as to what these things cost the city, so that before we vote on them, we know what they are. And we constantly get, as we have here, Mr. President, again, no analysis was submitted. I just think that's derelict, and I say derelict now because it's not the first time. This comes up almost every month. We have an item that can cost the city a substantial amount, and it comes on here with no analysis. And people ought to know when you're spending something that's going to cost $11 or $12 million, that's exactly what we're doing. I'm not prepared. I'm not going to vote for this today. But others may. But the point of the thing is that it's the staff we have a policy here that is constantly violated by if not a refusal, just simply a failure to comply with doing financial analysis of what these actions cost us. $11 million is a lot of money. And at least that information should be there. I ball the staff out. I'm going to ask you to make a similar analysis to 16 as well, but I would just like to vote no on 15.
Did this go through the ERC?
Yes, yes.
All right. Mrs. Chick?
Yes, I just want to echo what Mr. Wax says, and since I believe quite some years ago, it was my motion that made progress in requiring fiscal impact statements. But on something like this that has such a huge fiscal impact, and the language here kind of just says no fiscal impact submitted. So unless I see it, you know, the actual dollars or the range of dollars, I'm not prepared to vote on this today.
Mr. Alatorre?
Mr. President and members, Keith, this went through ERC, is that correct?
Yes, and through the full council and was agreed to.
And what it is that this is implementing, and this is the bottom line language to the memorandum of understanding that was already voted upon.
That's correct.
It was voted upon by ERC and was voted upon by the city council, is that correct?
That's correct.
Council already, and so the council already approved this particular memorandum of understanding. This is the language that implements the action that was taken by the city council approximately how long ago?
It was 3 or 4 months ago, if I remember right. It's merely the ordinance is coming back.
Exactly. So, Mr. President, members, you know, this was already debated. It's unfortunate that the information that some of the members need was not provided. But all I mentioned to you is that this is the implementing ordinance that deals with the contract that was agreed upon by the city council for the electrical, for IBW and Service Employees International Union Local 347. So it's nothing that we just all of a sudden are being blindsided by. It's unfortunate that some of the members don't have it, but I just wanted to bring forward to you the information that it is just implementing what has already been discussed by this council and approved by this council for the contract for both the units. I would ask for an aye vote.
Mr. Burnson?
If the council has already approved the document, then basically we're obligated anyway. Is that correct or not correct? The MOU's been approved by the council?
We've always followed up with the necessary
So we are
implications.
probably
agree.
obligated to do this anyway.
That's correct.
But it would be nice, did we have the information on the financial impact when we...
Oh, yes. Many times these come directly onto the agenda, and it's just not time to submit it
This
at
was
that
11 or
point.
$12 million total, right?
For city, for the whole department, all of the contracts, which includes the next one also.
And these went through, did
They
it go
came
through
through-
any other committees besides the ERC?
No, but it went through the full council too, for full debate. when it
And
came
the
in.
amount was specified at that point?
Exactly.
Is there any possibility that this could be held over for a day so that we could get that? And then I'll probably vote for it anyway because I have, you know, but I think we ought to have it here for process.
Well, I don't think a day's delay is any problem. We
Okay,
can
I'll move
submit
that this
quick
be
reports.
delayed one day and brought back tomorrow so we can have that information.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, a one-day continuance?
I just want to ask Mr. Brinson if he wouldn't mind amending that till Friday, so that maybe I could also clear
Fine.
up my other issue as to why that's not
Mr.
happening.
Hernandez, I'm undoubtedly going to vote for this because we have to anyway. I just think pro forma, you know, yeah. Okay, that's good.
We have a lot of people absent on Friday.
We have a quorum.
Well, that just gives those who are here more authority on Friday, is that correct, Mr. President?
What?
That just gives those who are here on Friday more authority.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Ms. Goldberg?
Want to continue it a week?
Unfortunately, I think this is more form over content.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the truth is that we
How many
don't
applicants?
ever vote on anything from EERC as a council without the dollar figures attached to it. When we negotiate, they just aren't here on this document, but they were on the document that we approved. We knew the dollars before we approved the contract amendment. So I think it's a shame that they weren't attached, but I would like to vote on this, and I believe I have to leave early on Friday, so I would hope that we could continue this till tomorrow. I understand the other issue, and I will make a similar phone call, but I would like to be able to vote on this, so I'd like to ask that we do it tomorrow. I don't, you know, I mean, the fact of the matter is that we do not ever finish negotiations and vote on a package without knowing the dollar figure that they're there. We get that both from the department as well as from the CAO's office virtually 100% of the time. So I guess procedure would say that from now on, those reports should be attached to this when we bring in the implementing language, and then we wouldn't have this confusion. So one day, please.
Okay, we have a request to continue one day. All right, is there any objections to that? Seeing none, that'll be the order.
16, does the council want to continue that one day,
Parallel contract for
too?
their engineers, you should handle it the same way.
Can we continue that one day and can I have the information tomorrow?
Right.
Okay, there's no objection. 16 will be continued one day. Okay, 17.
17 special.
Ms. Goldberg, I believe, called 17.
Yes, I think I was not in council during the first reading of this, and I'd like to just understand a little bit more about why we are repealing the legislation regulating assault weapons. Since I know that no one in the council probably has changed their mind on this issue, I just want to know what's going on.
Henry Morris from City Attorney's Office. This matter originally came to the council, I think, in November or December of last year. And at that time, we had a closed session where we reviewed the issues. Essentially, our opinion at that point in time was that the statutory scheme under state law for assault weapons preempted our local regulation. We also had, as something precipitating, a letter from an attorney representing gun interests saying that they would sue, bring an action against the city unless the local ordinance was repealed. We don't mind a fight. In fact, we welcome it. But in this particular case, we felt that there was enough of comprehensive-ness in the state law and enough conflicts between the state law and our local regulation that we felt that we could not win in litigation on this particular matter. Consequently, we recommended repeal, and at that point in time, in closed session, your honorable body did concur in that, and then later on, we brought the ordinance, the repealing ordinance, down, and that ordinance is before you at this point in time. And that was essentially what had occurred. The only other event that has happened in the intervening period of time. There was an appellate decision that came down that addressed and nullified some provisions of the state statute. But since then, that appellate decision itself has been nullified because the state Supreme Court has agreed to take up the matter. I think that would, in a certain sense, strengthen our original recommendation that we ought to wait and see what the state Supreme Court says, and then, if necessary, we could reenact our assault weapon ordinance at some later point in time consistent with what the state Supreme Court views on the matter are at that time. So this is in essence, in thumbnail, where we are at this point in time and why we're down here.
Thank you.
Mr. Burnson?
First of all, what phase of the ordinance are we repealing?
We are repealing our local ordinance, the entire ordinance.
The entire local ordinance?
That's correct, sir.
Well, the matter is still before the California Supreme Court, right?
The matter is at this time before the California Supreme Court.
So why are we acting before the court makes a decision? I mean, I realize the fact that we're being sued, but the point is...
Well, we're not yet sued,
So we're
sir.
being threatened with a lawsuit. You know, I don't see why we should act before... Now, I'm not one of these gun control freaks, but I do believe, and I did vote, I did vote to ban assault weapons. I think they have no place in the constitutional situation. I just wonder... All right, come on, okay?
Point of personal privilege, Mr. President. On behalf of
still
Ms. Goldberg, Ms. Walters, and all of us other same people.
Mr. Svornich, will you sit down? You were sitting in the seat. Basically speaking, I just wonder the wisdom of our acting until the California Supreme Court has acted.
Well, at this time, there is a comprehensive state law regulating assault weapons so that there is control, comprehensive control over assault weapons under the state law.
Yeah.
The state law is still viable. The appellate decision has been nullified, and so we have a viable state law provision until...
But we have the right as a charter city to, we do it with zoning codes and other things, to invoke, and with building standards, to invoke things that are tougher than the state standard. The state standard is the minimum, not the ceiling. And I just wonder why I just wonder
Well,
why we're reacting like this.
Even though we're a charter city, where there is a conflict on a matter of statewide interest, as this is, our charter city status doesn't prevail.
I assure you that building codes are of statewide interest as well as these things, and
Right,
we have the right to do that.
But only because the state law permits us.
Well, I just think that maybe we ought to wait and see what happens rather than folding our tent right away. We ought to wait and see what happens, and if we have to, if we're sued, once they file a lawsuit, then we can talk about it. We can reach an agreement to say that we'll abide by whatever the Supreme Court decides. I think that would be our course of action. I would move that we continue this for, when do you think the Supreme Court will act on it?
It could be several months, in the magnitude of months, Councilman.
Well, I'd like to continue this for 30 days, okay? And then we can take another look at it after 30 days. I really do. I just think that I'm not one of these that's so quick to fold our tent every time we get threatened with a lawsuit.
Let's,
Now, Mr. Ridley Thomas would
let's
probably
make your
do that.
request until June 26th, is it? June 26th. Mr. Fuhrer?
What was this personal privilege you wanted?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Ridley, what was this personal privilege you were talking about?
Gentlemen, on my time, it won't be long, but it's getting longer as we speak here. I rise to very strongly support Mr. Bernson's motion as a card-carrying GCF. And in fact, the card I'm carrying is a picture of my kids, and it's not by accident on this particular issue. In any event, Mr. Bernson is absolutely right, and I urge unanimous support for his motion.
Mrs. Walters?
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with Mr. Bernson's continuance, but I certainly don't agree with his characterization. And I think given the tragedy that we've had unfolding before us the last few days, 4 people dead and 25 injured in the shooting at a school, and one of the funerals is going to be today, one was yesterday, that it really does not behoove us to talk about gun control freaks. I think it's just the opposite way around. People who love these guns. They went in the house of this kid that is accused of killing all these people and found bombs and guns and ammunition and all sorts of things. So I don't think it's the gun control folks that are the freaks. I don't understand, and I never will understand, this passion that American people have for their weapons as though it's an extra appendage or something. So I take not only personal issue with the gun, the people who are positing that the Second Amendment requires that they have guns, and I don't think it's something we ought to take lightly.
Okay, is that a realistic date to continue? Because we're not going to get a decision out of the Supreme Court that quickly, are you?
It may give an opportunity for council members to further reflect. We could confer with them individually. Those would be 2 positive results of a continuance, but it would not take us to the point in time when we get a decision from the state Supreme Court. That's correct. It would not.
Okay, well, all the weapon freaks agree to continue. Get a financial impact too. Okay, the matter is continued until the 26th of June. Next item.
Item 18, special a card was submitted.
Mr. Shapiro.
Mr. President and council members, item number 18 requires concerns the setting up of a date for taking public testimony and having a hearing on a proposed sidewalk assessment in Westwood Village. I was checking into how these things are done, and they're being done now in compliance with Prop 218, which passed a few years ago. Now, the type of vote that they have on this project is not by the people who are against. Well, first of all, how this gets set up? The Chamber of Commerce and a few other property owners came before the engineer and told him that the sidewalks need fixing. Well, they need fixing over most of the city, but they told him here and there they're prepared to pay for it themselves. Now, a vote must take place, and the vote that's going to take place after the public hearing will be a mailing out of ballots. Now, it doesn't matter if one person answers, it doesn't matter if 100 persons answer. Just the majority of the people who do answer will determine whether it's a majority and whether the sidewalk special assessment district should be set up. I think that a better method could be possibly devised for having an election than just a strictly a mail-out election, because you don't know if the mail gets to the right people, you don't know if it's addressed properly, you don't know if the people who are going to get it and are going to bother to return it, and there's all sorts of things involved. And I think it's much better if you have an open election. You tell people if they want to have a vote, you have it like you set up the PAC committee in the CRA. The people who are interested come and vote. The way it's now, they vote according to the amount of property that they own. And if one person owns a lot of property, you can see where he or she is the one who's going to make the determination. In general, if a group wants to hold a sidewalk, set up a sidewalk maintenance assessment, and they want to hold public hearings on it, I'm for that part of it. But I think the type of election that's going to be conducted afterwards should demand a little more study, Mr. President.
Okay, is there any discussion on this? If not, prepare the roll on 18. Tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
That is approved. Next item.
29 is a closed session held on the desk, Mr. President. This would be the time then for public comments on non-agenda items.
Okay, we have public comment, Leonard Shapiro.
Julie said that Adrian put them in the box.
Mr. President and council members, I finally received a copy of some of the most recent audits that were made by the Department of Auditor Controller. And one of them that you should be interested in, because I see here, Ferraro, Alatorre, Wax, Chick, Fewer, Alicon, all got copies of this audit, but the rest of you didn't, and I think there's a lot in this audit that deserves study. This again brings up the point that I spoke about many times before, that you should have an audit oversight commission. And this audit oversight commission or committee would look into the fact all the problems that are set up by these audits and do what they can to make sure they're implemented. Like one of the key points in this audit is the fact that they say this is a follow-up audit for one that was conducted in 1992. And in our opinion, the LAPD's property division had weaknesses in internal controls that could inversely impact the safeguarding of property items, reliability of records, and compliance with policy. Selected high-value drugs are stored in a less secure area than the majority of the high-value drugs. Property items are not reconciled with computer records. Control weaknesses in disposal of property may lead to waste, misuse, and theft. Auction items are not properly accounted for. Unnecessary disposal fees are incurred, and no revenue was generated with salvaged property items. Now, if this is happening with the police department, if all these things are happening, and this is a follow-up audit where they were warned to do it better than this in 1992, it says they did correct some items. 8 recommendations were made, 6 of the 8 were implemented, but 2 of the tough ones were not implemented. They were just partially implemented. And the barcoding in the high value and rotate the property officers on a regular basis, all these things are necessary to be done. Nobody is seeing that it's done. And if nothing is done by the city council on this matter, then you'll hear another audit in 4 years from today, and they'll say, I'm checking up on the audit I conducted in 1992 and the audit I conducted in 1998 on these items of safeguarding the money that's taken in drug raids, the drugs that's taken in drug raids, the important expensive property that's taken in drug raids. That should be done. In fact, they talk about having a lunchroom inside the safe area. They say, get the lunchroom out. And there's a lot of things out that should be in. This has got to be taken care of some way or the other, and I see no reason why this thing has been hanging for 4 years, and in all probability will be hanging for 4 years more. I think the city council should look into this very closely. You got the audit, set up an audit oversight commission if you don't have time to do this, and I'll see that members of the audit oversight commission do their job. Mr. President.
That's all the cards we have, so the public comment period is closed. The next item,
Motions for posting and referral.
if there's no objections, unanimous vote.
Councilmember Chick has requested to be excused city business to leave at 11:45 on June the 3rd. I need a motion from the floor. That'll leave 10 members.
Mr. Burnson moves, unanimous vote.
Closed session, item 29.
Okay, we got a closed session, so everybody that's not involved with the closed session, please leave the council chamber.
Boy, this is speedy, speedy.
Nate Holden is not here. That's not an Hercules. Members, you do realize that with the exception of the executive session, we had a very short meeting. I want to point out that April is not there. If there's any coincidence. Okay, we're back in open session. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Tomorrow. Yeah. Have the one that knows something about this. Okay, what do we have next?
29B, there's a motion by Councilman Burnson to continue your closed session item for 1 day.
All right, there's no objections. That will be the order.
Councilmember Goldberg has requested to be excused city business to leave at 11:30 at tomorrow's meeting. I need a motion from the floor.
Mr. Burnson moves, unanimous vote.
The desk is clear, Mr. President.
We have adjourning motions. Would everyone please stand? Members of the council, I'd ask we adjourn in memory of Sophia Mordaki, who is the mother of Georgia Rosenberry, passed away. She leaves 3 children, 6 grandchildren, all members. I'd also ask that we adjourn in memory of Mrs. Edith Harris, who passed away. It's Margaret's sister. And Asco. Mr. Alarcon.
Yes, council members, I would ask that we adjourn in the memory of Ida Pearl Galloway. She's the sister of Pastor Dee Dee Chapman of Greater Community Missionary Baptist Church. She passed away from cancer. She was a member of Morning Star Baptist Church in Clarenton, Pennsylvania. And Pastor Chapman is very active in the Pacoima area and so many different activities. She is survived by Pastor Chapman, Renee Galloway, Derek Galloway, and Maddie Lee Chapman.
Ms. Chick.
Yes, I'd like to ask that we adjourn in memory of David Siegel, who was only 23 years old when he passed away about a week ago after a long and courageous fight with leukemia. He lived his entire life in the 3rd Council District, attended Welby Way Elementary School, Hale Junior High, and El Camino Real High School. He attended also University of California at Santa Barbara and was diligently pursuing his studies even during chemotherapy treatment. And while he was a couple of units short of getting his BA degree. UCSB has awarded him his degree posthumously. He was an avid baseball fan and very devoted to the School of Film. Will be greatly missed by his family, his mother, Mari, his father, Barry, and his brother, Michael. In addition, colleagues, I'd like to ask that we adjourn in the memory of another lost member of our fire department, Jesse Kellogg, known as Dave Kellogg. He was an engineer at Station 105s in Woodland Hills, and he was all of 47 years old when he passed away of a heart attack last week after finishing duty. He'd been with the department for 23 years.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask we adjourn in memory of Jack Ostro, who for years and years was instrumental to the development of very important institutions in this city as a philanthropist, like the LA Free Clinic and the University of Judaism. I'll give the clerk the pertinent details.
Ms. Goldberg?
Yes, I'd like to mourn the passing of two figures that probably are well known to many of us older folks in Los Angeles. The first was Monty Montana, who was a cowboy that if you're my age and older, you remember because he went to your elementary school. And he did rope tricks and brought a rodeo and was the first introduction for many, many children in the Southern California area to someone who was a real cowboy.
I'd like to be a co-author on that.
And the other is for Robert W. Morgan, who a lot of us listened to growing up on the radio, who died very young. He was only 61 years old. A lot of us listened to him on Channel 98 KFWB when it was called Color Radio. Both he and the real Don Steele have died very recently, mourning an era in passing in Los Angeles.
Any others? Call the roll.
I want to be a co-author on Monty Montana, who's constituent of the 12th District.
Aye, the council is adjourned.
You are watching LA City View, Channel 35.